Pause it. Hi, everybody. Moments ago, I didn't say too much. Again, to all friends, followers, all Canadians, all Albertans, the amount of backroom work I do on the world stage in provinces and in all political parties across Canada is usually never published, but we have a premier. I just went live with him in the province of Alberta. It's all recorded for all of you. I've tagged my good friend Dr. Richard Albert. There's more Canadians. I have, again, I don't lie. And Richard Albert will attest to at least what he knows of the work I've done. I've gone long past Richard Albert. Today, Jason Kenney and myself live. You're about to hear it. 10 minutes ago. It's bad news. I knew it was going to be, but I want all Canadians, all of my Albertans to know, all the first people in Canada, exactly what went down. There is nowhere I'm not. I have been on the highest world stages in the entire world, and it's coming back to Canada to roost. Watch as UCP Premier Jason Kenney invites me on, and this is what we go through. Remember, I'm a racist, a pervert, a rapist, a degenerate, the worst kind of Canadian. This man sold me out along with his counterpart, Rachel Notley. That's the first thing he did in 2019. Everything I've ever told every Canadian, everybody of First Nation and of regular, everyday Joe Jane Canadian is true. I don't lie. I don't lie, and I will never lie to you, the people. Are you ready, Tina? For Albertans, this happened. Go ahead. Hi, Premier Kenney. My question for you today is in relation to February 16th, 2022. Here, I met your property rights panel, and I was given Q&A time with them. They were really interested. MLA Glenn Van Dyken from Athabasca. He asked a question. I gave a 13-minute presentation on Dr. Richard Albert and the 3-year works I've done all across the world, from the greatest minds in the world in every minority language available in Canada, for real constitutionalism for the cost of Alberta for $13 million. Were you made aware of any of this that I presented to that panel?
Well, thanks, David. I didn't get a briefing on your submission, per se. I'll get the final report of the committee, but I'm very familiar with Dr. Richard Albert, and in fact, I also shared some articles written by Dr. Albert with MLA Van Dyken. Dr. Albert, I've met with him. For those not familiar, he is a very bright Canadian professor of law at Texas A&M University, I believe, or University of Texas. And he has written a number of scholarly and popular articles suggesting that Alberta pursue the idea of a formal constitution. And I'm quite intrigued by the idea. We do have a constitution of sorts in the British tradition. It's basically a collection of different both laws and conventions or traditions found, for example, in the Alberta Act of 1905, certain provisions of the British North America Act of the Constitution Act 1982, and various other statutes and conventions. And his idea is maybe bringing all of these things into one single document and formalizing that with sort of a statement about the central values of the province. I've always been intrigued by that. We asked the Fair Deal panel to consult Albertans on the whether they would like to see an Alberta Constitution, and the recommendation came back as a negative from the Fair Deal panel. But I'm certainly still open to it, and I'm glad you are too, David. And I think it's worth pursuing further.
Premier, may I just give a part B to that question, if I may?
Okay.
Okay, the part B is this, Premier, is that Section 92 of the Constitutional Act of Canada, which I know you're very familiar with. You were a vocal federalist, which is a good thing, regardless of what Canadians believe or not. And I know you understand this, but this is the Alberta Bill of Rights, which overlaps all the federal division of powers, written for the province of Alberta as some kind of template, is not what we're talking about here. I am talking about the outlining division of powers given to you, Premier, that no Justin Trudeau, no Stephen Harper, nobody else can stop you as a Premier of a province or any Premier of any territory from enacting. It was called forward in Section 5 in the 1867, which is consolidated with 1982, as well as absolutely everything given to us in Section 92A, 93 that are of provincial jurisdiction, which is your jurisdiction, Premier. And I'm not picking on you today, sir. I am talking about every Premier of every province and territory that has not invoked what that was called for in that time. Would you be willing to do that, sir? Sure.
Oh, okay, thanks. I just wanted to say, out of respect for others, we should try to wrap this up.
That was the question.
I am open to the idea of a provincial constitution, but at the end of the day, the division of powers in the Canadian Federation are defined in the Constitution Act, and we can amend that with respect to bilateral matters between Alberta and Ottawa, matters that only affect us. But we cannot take federal powers that without that are in the Constitution for the federal government. These are complex legal issues, but we are trying. Look, there are a lot of things we can do, and that's what we're pursuing. For example, the possibility of an Alberta Provincial Police Force, the possibility of an Alberta Provincial Pension Plan. We brought in an Alberta Parole Board. We brought in an Alberta Chief Firearms Officer to oversee administration of federal firearms law. And we won control from the feds over the regulation of methane, regulation of major industrial greenhouse gas emitters, species at risk woodland caribou habitat management, and a lot of other things. So we have been getting some more powers out of Ottawa, and we'll continue to move in that direction for sure.
Can I just, the last final on this?
Thank you for that. Our next caller is Mike from Calgary. Wow. Mike has a very timely question.
Cut off, everybody. Never allowed to go through Section 92. If any Canadian can read it, read it. That's my time tonight. As usual, a slick maneuver by the Premier to turn you into something else. End recording, Tina. Thank you. I kept it a secret, Canadians. I've been betrayed many, many times. You'll find most UCP MLAs want this think tank back in the saddle. It's not the only party. There's many, many federal parties that would like me in the saddle, in the back room, doing all the thinking. MLAs in Alberta wanted me to go forward. There's many EDAs that wish to have me go forward. Brian Jean and Richard Albert are tagged in this post. Richard Albert, the shame on the Premier. You've heard it firsthand. I know you say not in our lifetime, but Richard, there is one more. His name is Brian Jean, and all Canadians, all First Peoples, if you don't think I haven't done works unimaginable in Canada, I have so on every world stage. The most sponsorship for the works I do comes from the United States of America, UK's top institutions who think I will never succeed. Russia's down with it. China's down with it. Everybody is down with it. I have moved more UN states, more of the greatest minds in the world as a template just for you, Canada. And I'm going to say again what Premier Jason Kenney lies to every Albertan and all Canadians. He was a lifetime Privy Council, is a lifetime Privy Council, was a federal minister, a lifetime Privy Council member. He knows exactly what is legal. This man has been there. He has been in the back room. He never wishes to address anyone of merit or superior intellect. And I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I have gone to the greatest legal minds in the world. I have already done all the work for Canada on the entire world stage. You will find the 5 superpowers in the world sponsor me. sponsor me in the work I'm doing, and I'm going to bring forward residential school genocide like nobody else before the end of this month. It's already starting. This works for Alberta's for constitutionalism, a fix for the entire world, not even just that it's in the home province of Alberta, to be rolled out provincially that can lead to the federal if you move 7 mountains called 7 provinces. Easily done if you can get the land settled. What Section 92 outlines for every Canadian is the abundance of Crown land none of you have today. It also outlines all your resources, folks. First Peoples Treaty, Indian, Métis, and Inuit, as well as all Canadians. The idea that you could have the harness of wealth and prosperity and the world can invest in you, the people, in property rights. The scariest thing by any autocratic premier or prime minister, they would rather see me dead. The world of academia, world powers say, you won't live, you won't make it forward. I continue to go, many are behind me. Many of the parties, those inside them, quietly continue to give me audience and stage. I am banned from entirely Jason Kenney's social media, all aspects of the UCP, but yet the UCP defy secretly the premier and bring me once again back into full audience. That's live. That's Jason Kenney, folks. I don't have any technology to fake all that. That was live for everybody. Louise, if you're live with the premier, the best question to ask going forward, Jason Kenney, can you not release Crown lands under Section 92 in constitutionalism for all Treaty Indians overlapping Inuit in Treaty 8, giving us access to the Arctic and empowering every Albertan and true prosperity? Can you not do that, Premier, under Section 92? Isn't it only your division of powers in constitutionalism as called for since 1867? With no amendments, folks, raw, real, it is absolutely the crown power of your elected Premier majority. And Jason Kenney is such a Premier right now today. He doesn't need a lawyer. Richard Albert, the greatest legal mind Canada ever produced, currently in the world top 10, who is the director of international law and constitutionalism for the state of Texas, which almost nearly has the same population as Canada. We are literally only percentage points away. That's where I've been all over this world. Many academics theorize, they don't believe it's possible. I make the possible reality. I've done it before, and I continue to do it each and every day of my life. I tell the truth. I never lie. I never lie. That is for all of you. Win, lose, or draw, or what happens to me in my life going forward. If you think I'm not in every back room all over the world and absolutely in all of Canada and all of the dealings, I most certainly am, folks, and I continue to be each and every day I get up. So much many don't know, but I share this with you as brave party insiders bring me forward once again to try and champion change, to champion you, the people. That's my video. Share, share, share. Maybe the media will say I'm a fraud. Maybe they're going to say I made up the video or I doctored Jason Kenney's voice. But for all the Albertans who are live in the UCP membership who heard that live, that is me, Dave Bjorkman. Thank you. Good night. Bye now.